You're listening to Passages, a podcast about great quotes, life, and the wisdom of the Bible. And now your hosts, Drew Kaiser, Jason Pulliam, and Tim Layton.
Oh, yeah.
We're here.
And we're back.
It's time for another episode of Passages. Before we get started, I'm going to mention our sponsors at the beginning of the podcast. It doesn't do a whole lot of good to save it to the very end because
People listen to the end.
Sure they do. But this program has been brought to you by Cobb Publishing. Go to cobbpublishing.com. Check out what they have available there. They have a lot of titles to choose from. A lot of great books by our friends over there at Cobb Publishing. Also, if you live in the Leeds area and you're interested in getting a new book, before you buy it on Amazon, go to the Borough Bookstore and look at what they have to choose from. You might find my book, Sufficient Grace, which is sold out there twice now.
Well, I was in there last week and did not see it. I went in there Thursday and missed it.
Look for it on the local author's shelf.
Okay.
And,
it was definitely not there when I went in.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a new shipment to come in.
Now, I will tell you, I went in there and bought a book the other day, and regular price book was like $17 or $18. They had it for $4, and it was a good book. Good, nice fiction book. I was going to buy a copy of your book to try to boost sales and just find somebody to give it to, and I looked for it. I didn't find it, but we're going to, next time I see it, I'm going to pick up a copy of it.
Yeah, so that's a good bookstore. So we should have done a little talk about who goes first tonight, but
hey, can we also throw out that we are enjoying some snacks here tonight from one of our passengers, Sister Teresa.
I want to say thank you so much. I have already eaten half a bag of milk chocolate M&Ms tonight,
and I've been into the peanut butter M&Ms. And
as have I. That's my favorite, Teresa. That is my favorite candy.
And I will tell you right now, Tim and I have them so far out of Drew's reach that he may not get any more.
I had first crack at them, though.
You did. That's true.
And over in the corner, there's another of my favorites.
Oh,
the Kit Kat.
The Kit Kat is a spectacular.
I enjoy that too. So
bar.
We appreciate that an awful lot. In fact, if we mix the three of those together, that might be couch mix.
It'd be the closest thing to couch mix we've had in 6 months.
I believe she said this was in response to our Halloween candy discussion. So what did we learn from that? I learned to talk about food more often.
Yes.
And people will bring it to us.
Thinking
more food segments.
I'm thinking we're going to have a favorite cobbler episode coming up soon.
What's the best cobbler?
All of them.
This is generating a lot of ideas.
I like that.
Well, it's been a while since we've had rock news.
All right.
News.
Did anybody, and I think I know the answer to this question, did anybody watch the Grammys?
Actually, I did.
I did not because I can't stand them.
That's not my story, but you can't do rock news this week without talking about the Grammys. So what did you think? Do you have any comments?
I watch it really. Millie asked me some period of time through it, why are you watching this? And I said, I'm trying to see if there's any music out there maybe that they're playing that I like. There was some stuff that was not terrible.
If you have to describe it as not terrible, Tim, it's not good.
That's about as good as I can go.
As a rule, the Grammys try not to have anybody good perform on their program.
Seems to
recently that's been the rule.
Is it true that Country Album of the Year went to Beyonce?
Yes, it is
a fact.
And and Best Album. Did she not win that also?
Best Album,
guys.
Also.
I've heard a couple songs off that album. Garbage.
I haven't even given it a chance because
I was introduced to some artists that apparently are on the radio. They're not on 106.9 The Eagle, playing your best from the 80s and 90s. So I didn't know some of these folks. Sabrina Carpenter, I think, was one of them.
She's from the Disney Channel.
One of the Carpenter sisters?
No.
Okay.
Not related to Karen, best I could tell. Needed some clothes. And then there was another one on a giant pink pony. And
like a real pony?
No, it was more like a My Little Pony, but it was like the largest one you could ever imagine.
That's
so,
a pretty
so
large
I guess
one.
that'd be My Great Big Old Pony.
Yeah.
So I forget what her name was, but she was quite a sight.
Well,
Anyhow, back to you, Drew.
We need Patrick back because I was trying to do some research here. Beyonce
Patrick,
broke
please
some
come
record.
home.
I think it was
most
like 30
Grammys ever.
Grammys or something like that.
35 is the highest number. Again, we need Patrick's skills here for this, but I don't want to take any more time away from the podcast hunting around for this. But I had heard she had 99 nominations over her lifetime, and I just saw the number 35 for Grammys that she actually won. So that, according to the Grammys, is the greatest artist of all time. I disagree.
I would have to disagree with that as well.
I haven't really explored her repertoire, but
Is that a French word?
see.
I remember.
Oui, beyond.
I remember all the single ladies.
Yeah, just because that
know.
song is a joke.
Okay, now does that
That's why
include
people
her
know it.
time? She was in a group before she was Beyonce, right? I don't know.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah, does that include her nominations as part of that group, or are these nominations just as Beyonce?
Queen
Patrick
Bee.
is not here,
Sorry,
so I can't.
Patrick.
There's no way of knowing
please
that.
come home.
There's no way to know that answer.
I will throw in there that I will tell you.
If only I had a computer in my hand.
You know,
over
since
here.
it was a music awards program, there's Taylor Swift in the audience dancing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have to go there. It's like as often as in a Kansas City Chiefs football
Overrated.
game,
They just
right?
keep a camera on
I'll
her
tell
the
you-
whole night.
I'll tell you who got shut out Sunday night. Old T Swifty.
Well, she's in
now,
love
she's
now.
checking banking checks, checking banks. She might be checking banks because she's got all the money in them.
She's a billionaire.
This could be a long night, but
It's gonna
Was
be-
she up?
yeah.
Was-
You've done a lot of
Was she
talking already
nominated
tonight.
for some Grammys?
I think
Did she have something out there that was Grammy?
It was her featuring,
oh,
L Cool Swifty J or something.
and nobody can just put something out on
Right.
there.
Everybody's got to have something.
Did Billy
featuring
Ray
something.
Cyrus win anything?
I do not believe so.
How about P. Diddy? No.
No.
Too
he's-
soon?
His award's coming sometime later, I think.
My rock news story
Sorry.
is about an artist from his zenith was in the 80s.
All right.
Okay.
I'm familiar.
Phil Collins. Okay, I got a story on Phil Collins, the drummer. Yes, he was in Genesis, and then he had a very successful solo career. I did some research. Patrick would be proud of me on the legalities of playing music on the podcast, and I've
Okay.
got I looked at the time that you can only share a segment of a song, not the whole song.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so I very carefully put together a soundbite of a Phil Collins song. According to the law, this is legal, and we don't have
Okay.
to worry about royalty fees. So that's about all we can play of his music. And
That was great.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I think it's going to be great to
What
have
if you
this
had one that
feature
was
now
like,
that we've
what if
ironed
you
out.
had one that was like, Sue?
Well, we can do that now. Now that I know,
that was a good laugh.
now
was
that I
not
know the
expecting
rules,
that. I was getting ready
we
to
can
start
play any
singing.
song we
Oh,
want like
man.
that. So Phil Collins, a great, and
Wanna
the music.
sing.
The music just really makes a difference, in the podcast.
Did
It's-
you
man.
know he
Give me some
himself is not in the Rock Hall of Fame?
I do, because you and I listen to the same podcast.
Did
and
I
that's where
just
got
stomp
this
all
story.
over your story?
No,
I'm sorry,
you
I'm
can
sorry.
join in. I know you've heard this before, but it blew my mind. And here's the article. The headline says it all. Tim, you're going to be amazed by this. Phil Collins is a reincarnated Alamo defender, and it's Jim Bowie.
Isn't he from England?
He's from the UK.
Yeah. Okay.
So, musician Phil Collins was made an honorary Texan, and as one of the world's most famous Alamo enthusiasts, this honor is well deserved. The story of Collins' love of the Alamo is no secret to San Antonians, but what most of you don't know, unless you've done further reading into Collins' obsession, is that Collins may be a reincarnated Alamo defender. The famous story about Collins' Alamo journey was clarified in an article in the Daily Mail, who identified Texan Caroline Foreman as the one who told Collins that she believed he is Texan courier John W. Smith, one of the few Alamo survivors. When she told him, according to the Mail, Collins' face lit up. But we think the foreman's clairvoyance may have been slightly off. We believe, as his photo evidence suggests, and there's a picture of Jim Bowie next to Phil Collins, that if Phil Collins is a reincarnated version of anyone in the Battle of Alamo, he is the famed Jim Bowie.
Does Phil Collins have a Bowie knife with him in this? I mean,
maybe he calls it a Collins knife.
Oh.
He has a vast collection of Alamo
like
artifacts.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I
Pee-wee's
think that
bicycle.
Did they ever find the basement in the Alamo? Can you say Adobe?
Adobe.
Sorry.
I almost went down a Pee Wee Herman.
And I
rabbit trail.
digress.
It is hard to
No, you
resist.
are, but what am I?
It's not for sale, Francis.
All right, I promise we're going to shut up so you can talk.
Well, that's it. Tim, what do you think about that? I know Jason heard it before, but Phil Collins seems to believe, at least slightly, he seems really into this idea that he is a reincarnated Alamo defender.
That's really weird. Yeah, because Collins is from England, right? I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah. How did he get into the Alamo?
Because
And have you guys ever seen the Alamo?
I
have.
have been there, yeah.
I have.
It's
It
not
was very
impressive.
unimpressive, yeah.
Right, you get there and it's like, that's it. Let's go eat.
It's like skyscraper. Oh, there's a little Adobe hut.
Let's check out the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
there's a
seen
really
that.
good
Let's move
museum
on.
back behind it, but yeah, I know because you and I listen to the same podcast, which is why sometimes our stories may be very
Yeah.
similar. That they said that as a young man in England, he would run around in a coonskin cap and pretending to be a cowboy.
So this goes
pretending
way
to be
back.
Davy Crockett.
To be Davy Crockett.
So
That's
this
right.
fascination goes way back, like to the beginning of his life.
Yep.
Looks like it.
Very interesting.
But I don't know.
Some miss.
I love that. I love that you researched that, and that is all we can play.
Well,
I'm waiting for the FCC to come shut down the podcast at some point.
Trump barred it. What's the word?
He sent 'em-
closed it
he
down.
sent 'em all
Doesn't
home.
exist
He's had
anymore.
a very busy.
He told him not to come to work.
He's had a very busy 16 days. Did y'all hear that he's about to put in Gazalago over
Yes,
there in the
I
Middle
heard.
East? Oh my goodness!
He
Have
wants
you
to
heard that,
turn
Tim?
Gaza into the Riviera
Oh
of the
my
Middle
goodness!
East.
But he's going to bring peace. Wow! I'm not getting into that. We're not doing that
It's going to
tonight.
be huge.
So do you have food news? We have a big event coming up soon. I want to talk about food news.
If you were a hot dog, you were starving, would you eat yourself?
All right. So what is coming up Sunday? Drew's sermons, obviously.
Number one.
The Lord's Day.
The Lord's Day. But what's the rest of the world, mostly the United States, celebrate?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Sunday. So Super Bowl
Wish I had that
Sunday
Eagles
has
thing.
a lot of traditions.
ESGL.
ELGS Niner 4.
Comma slash.
Go Birds. So there's a lot of traditions with the Super Bowl. Get together, hang out with people, watch the game, have food. Food is a big part of the Super Bowl watch party.
Yeah.
And so I found a map today off of Google Trends of the game day dips, the best dip from each state. And I just thought it would be interesting to look at these. So they're classified into 5 categories. And some states share them, so it's not like we're going to go through 50 things. As I know you both
Okay.
panicked, I was going to read a list of 50
Yeah,
things.
there's a lot of states out there.
So in the categories, we have
There's
buffalo
Canada,
dips.
Greenland.
Okay.
We have buffalo dips. We have cheesy dips.
Mm-hmm.
We have veggie dips. We have meat and protein dips. And then we have other. So let's start in the South. I'm
The
going to
main
go
one
ahead.
I'm thinking about, I don't know what category it goes into.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you
Can
that
we make an Alabama guess before you tell us?
that's what I was going to do.
Okay.
So Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, all have those 4 states have the same thing. And our friends up in I guess I don't know what state that is. That state up north has this as well. It may be Minnesota. It's Minnesota. Sorry, I was having a geography moment. They have the same one. So what's our popular ones here in the South with the states surrounding us?
Well,
trying to remember your list now.
So Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee.
Not that list.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's veggie dip. There's buffalo dip.
Cheese, veggie, meat, other.
If
Buffalo
it still
cheese.
existed, I would say Barber's French onion dip would be
Which is a veggie dip,
a
right?
dip on top of my list, and it would be under veggie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it is not a veggie dip.
I would say meat dip.
It is not a meat dip.
Um,
It is a queso dip, a cheese dip. So it would be considered one for here.
Can I ask, because I don't think this will spoil your story, what is guacamole? What
Is it a
category
dip?
does it fit into?
It's an avocado, so I would put
It'd
it
be
as
veggie,
a veggie fruit dip, right? Because
So I was thinking
an
veggie dip was
avocado is
something
a
you
fruit.
dip the veggies into.
Oh no, see, I'm
And what's
thinking
salsa
veggie dip.
according to
yeah,
this?
that's a good one.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't go that much of a detail. Let's see what
Okay,
it
it
says here.
it must be veggie dip.
So
I think it would have to be just by process of
let me
elimination. right?
look at a
Yeah.
couple.
Not buffalo,
Okay.
not cheesy.
So
not
the
meat.
ones that have veggie dip, you have your bean dips,
Mm,
your salsas.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So made of artichoke dip,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
There's some good
spinach
stuff in that list.
spinach artichoke dip,
Mhm.
which
I like
is I think
yeah,
spinach
I like that.
artichoke dip is good
That's
stuff.
good.
Jalapeno popper dip,
I wouldn't turn it away.
cold corn dip, which is the same to me as Mexican street corn dip. I would think that's like your Texas caviar.
Yeah.
That's what we would refer to
Yeah.
as Texas caviar.
Sort of mayonnaise based with all the stuff in it and some
Yeah.
spice or whatever.
Now,
yeah.
one of them, I'm going to say, is this in the Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, or Southwest? Vegan buffalo cauliflower dip.
California.
No, I was surprised by that.
Well,
California is heavy into
Buffalo makes me think Southwest.
So it's actually up in the Northeast. It's
Hmm.
one of those little small states up north that I don't remember the name of because I don't do geography. Okay, I do
Rhode
eyes.
Island.
No, it's not
New
Rhode
Hampshire?
Island. I know that
Vermont?
one. It's Vermont or New Hampshire. It's one of those
They're
two.
they're turned upside down.
Yeah, that's right. They look like each other. They're
Mhm.
just
Inverted.
yeah, that's right. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. There's some bean dips here, taco dips. Buffalo chicken dip is probably the most popular.
it's pretty
I
good
see it
stuff.
all over the place, and that is a really good one. But I got to thinking after seeing that, what are some of the most popular dips for the Super Bowls? And I found an article by the LA Times, and I just thought this article was on fire, and we needed to talk about it. That's probably a joke that's a little too soon out of the LA Times.
Oh, I didn't even catch it.
man.
So
Dude.
that's wrong.
Boo.
But this was the most recent article I could find about dips. And this one's from February 2nd. And now I feel bad about that. That was awful. I should apologize. I'm sorry to our Los Angeles friends. I thought I had a hot joke there, and obviously I didn't.
Sorry to the Angeles.
Okay, so their list of favorite dips, and I just want to see if any of these hit your list, and then I'm going to ask you what your favorite dip is as
Okay.
we conclude this one. So there's the spicy California roll guacamole dip. I'm not a guacamole person, so I can't weigh in on this one, but it sounds really pretty good. It's got some sriracha in it. It's got some guacamole in it.
I love guacamole.
Crab meat in it, which is
Wow.
quite an interesting thing. And it looks delicious, except for the green, snotty-looking stuff called
Oh,
guacamole.
come on. That's like gold.
I don't know. I'm not a big
It's
avocado.
green gold is what guacamole is.
Okay, then the next one, and this one, I don't think this one sounds very good. Kismet's pickly cheesy greens.
What was the first word?
Kismet's. I'm guessing this is somebody's name,
Okay.
and
maybe some vegetable I didn't know.
it just sounds gross to me. It's got, now it does have spinach and spinach dip in it, so that sounds pretty good, but it's got some other stuff in it that scares me. Pimento queso dip. Now you're starting to speak my language. If you can get cheesy with a little spice, some pimentos, you're headed in the right direction. A perfect Tex-Mex sounding dip.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Now, this one is unique. I like this food substance, lemon pepper chicken dip. I've never had that. Nathan Hart, if you listen to this, which I'm pretty sure you're not a passenger, but someone who knows you is, hopefully you could try making us some lemon pepper chicken dip. That sounded good.
Probably shred the chicken up and
this one
mix
has
it in the
zucchini, a word I don't know, in it, and mint, so I'm going to skip it. It's just scary sounding.
It's a Yankee dip.
Now there's spinach artichoke dip. I'm a big fan of spinach artichoke dip. I like
good
that.
stuff.
And then there was a hummus dip. Are y'all a hummus fan? I'm not a big hummus
I like
fan.
hummus. They make it with the chickpea.
See, I've never been a big
it
hummus
just
fan.
Obliterate chickpeas in a blender.
I have the palate of a 9-year-old, and so it just tastes bland to me. So. But that's my issue.
So my final question, and then I'll stop talking and share our time. When it comes down to a dip, whether you're dipping a tortilla or just a regular chip or even a Ritz cracker, which always goes well with dips, what's your favorite dip? Tim, you look like you got an idea already, so I'll go to you first.
As much as I love cheese, if it's well put together salsa, it's
hard to beat.
I love salsa.
So salsa's number one.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, I know a man that puts together a mean salsa.
I do.
And he
Sits in the room with
guys.
us.
he does.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about his dance skills, because he puts together a mean
that's
salsa
good
in
too.
that
Yeah,
respect as
exactly.
well.
Wow.
But
I appreciate you saying that.
of my salsas, it's the favorite. All right.
You're too kind. My favorite dip is guacamole.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I'm sorry.
simple, fundamental
I'm
guacamole.
depressed.
Let the avocado do the work. That's my opinion.
I like it.
And then I love a buffalo chicken dip.
That sounds good.
It is so good. And I like that you can take the leftover dip and put it between bread and have sliders. That's pretty good too. If
Yeah.
you've never tried that, warm that up in the oven for a minute.
idea. I think a selection of dips may be in order for Super Bowl Sunday, just based on that.
Did
Yeah.
somebody say Super Bowl?
2-0. We're looking great. Go Birds. Let's go Birds.
ELGSES.
That's not what I thought that was going to be the Philadelphia mayor bumbling it, but now it's become this meme. and everybody,
okay.
Yeah.
everybody's
Gotcha.
celebrating her.
I got nervous. I didn't know where it was going because
Well,
that was not the one I was expecting when you hit
I know.
it.
I thought, okay, I don't know what this video is going to say.
Like, boy, we're about to edit something out. All right, Tim, I'm done. What
All
you
right.
got?
So I believe maybe yesterday, the governor of Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey, affectionately
Grandma?
known as Governor Meemaw, gave her State of the State address.
I
And
missed that in all the crazy Trump news cycle.
Right. So in her governor's state address, State of the State address, she announced her support for legislation prohibiting the use of smartphones in Alabama public schools. So
I can get behind that.
just
Could we add that to churches?
absolutely.
I could get behind that one.
We had a
too.
little ringer incident tonight.
According to the State Board
Every
of
night.
Education,
Every night.
Alabama school systems have local control right now, allowing school systems to make their own rules and policy under their local school board and superintendent. Senate Bill 92, introduced by Senator Donnie Chasteen, reads that the act would prohibit a student from using, operating, or possessing a wireless communications device on public elementary or secondary school grounds during the instructional day, subject to certain exceptions and subject to written policies. So just thought it was interesting, right? Wednesday night, we've been talking about social media in our adult class. And, I think that's an interesting concept. It's hard to see them. I was thinking about it when I saw the news article and I think I saw it on a TV update this morning, that she was supporting this legislation. there are some limited cases where it's great that you can touch base with your kid during the day. Hey, Jay, when am I supposed to come pick you up, right? You got practice after school or, that kind of thing. That's good stuff, but far outweighed by the distraction that it is in school. And I know that there's, teachers who take them up and they have little caddies for them or whatever, and all that's good. But, I think I'd be all for this legislation.
I would too. I mean, we parents can make adjustments.
Absolutely.
Now,
for
I will
this.
say this, that if they go with this legislation, which I have no really opposition to, the schools, and I'm talking to you middle and high, y'all are going to have to do a better job about communicating what time practices start, what time
Yes.
practices end, if games are being rescheduled, because that is 90% of the communication back and forth with my kids. It's
It
like,
absolutely
Dad,
is.
practice was canceled today, or Dad, I've got to stay for this. And it's always we find out about lunchtime.
Right.
So that's got to be
and-
fixed.
And in this scenario, you'd probably find out about 3 p.m., right? Or 3:20
yeah.
or something. 'cause
Right.
They
That's
wouldn't be able to
something
use it
these
during the
phones
day.
have made us lazy about is
Mhm.
the ad hoc changes that come and every day, well, we can get the word out. And
Yep.
it wasn't like that when we were coming up because you went off grid when
Oh,
you went to
yeah.
school.
Absolutely.
And there was just this trust that you were going to be in this spot 8 hours later.
Yeah.
And that your mom was going to be driving by at that same time.
Now,
And have y'all had numerous events in your childhood where somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be at a given time, and that there was a long search for someone lost? And
yeah.
yeah.
For my family, I really have to expand into Millie's family because there was where is Millie's sister? And it turned out at 2 a.m. she was at Thrifty Inn in Munford, in the parking lot, hanging out with friends or something, and so
as a
busted in
teenager,
right. And so,
Yeah.
there was the, time of terror, right? Because there
Yeah.
no phones or anything like that. And, the realization somebody woke up, she's not home, and then everybody's out, right?
Oh,
So
man.
that one comes to mind. And Jennifer, if you're ever a passenger, I'm sorry I brought it up.
and I was a perfect model child. I never missed curfew.
Of course not.
I was always where I was supposed to
No,
be.
there was a reason those spider webs were in
And
your
I
door.
will, and I will stay to that, even though my parents are listening to this podcast and may say differently. But there were two kids that I went to church with. Our church sat on about 7 acres, and it had a bunch of wooded property behind it. And there was some trails back there, and we used to go back there all the time as kids. Well, these two decided to go on a walk. Well, about 6 or 7 hours later, the police finally located them as they made their way back into a roadway. But at some point, they were like looking for them with a helicopter. And so that was some poor communication. But, these days, the nice thing is when they do have their phone is I can pull up Life 360 and I know where they are.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes it feels a little creepy snooping in on your kids, but it's
you
good for
should-
them to know that
but
you
you
have
should
an
be
eye
doing
in the
that,
sky.
parents. Yeah.
Drew, I remember a story. You told me a story one time. Was it when you were in Texas that somebody got in on a raft or something and
Oh, yes. That's a great story.
yeah.
A friend of mine worked at Chick-fil-A, an early version of Chick-fil-A when they were only in food courts.
Mhm.
He worked in the Chick-fil-A in Sherman, Texas, and he was collecting the pickle containers. They were made out of plastic, these big, giant containers. I guess they used to serve big pickles at Chick-fil-A. So he saved enough of them up for him and his brother-in-law to make a raft out of it. And they were going to float down the Red River one Saturday.
Which is not a small river.
Big
Right.
river. It's the
Big
border
river.
between Texas and
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
big river.
Big river. He looked at a map and he used his finger to, scale the map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the river is this many miles long. I think we can float this mile per hour, this many miles per hour. And so he told his sister to pick them up at like 6 p.m. They started out the day. 6 p.m. came and went. They never floated by the pickup point. All night Saturday, they waited. My friend and his brother-in-law did not show up. Sunday morning comes and goes. Now they're making announcements at church. Sunday night, they were putting together a search party when these guys finally got onto the riverbank and climbed up and found a house and made a phone call from some stranger's house to the family. We're okay. We just miscalculated. And they were asked later, how come you let this go on for almost 48 hours without, calling anybody? And they said, well, we just thought we were going to make it to the end around the next bend.
Oh, yeah. We're almost there.
It'll be around this next curve. So for 2 days, they kept saying, around this next curve, it's got to be it. It's got to be it.
Wow.
But they didn't eat.
My guess is they didn't calculate the curves in the map.
Right, that's
very
what
well.
happened.
Yeah,
The river is slow and curvy.
and they measured it as a bird
Straight
flies.
It's not like an Alabama river
Right.
where there are
Because
hills and
in
stuff.
the old Rand McNally, it looked straight.
And it
That's
does.
right.
It looks,
that's all
yeah.
they had. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a story I didn't intend on telling, but it's one of my favorite
Oh,
stories.
I love it.
Tim, last week, Jason and I talked about some bad church signs. I had to bring it back because you're the church sign guy. We talked about you a little bit, and we may have
It's the
stole all your
It's
thunder.
the reason I have no fingerprints.
Oh, we told
I
that
told
joke.
that, yeah.
We told
And
all
that's
the
not
jokes
a joke,
already.
though. It really, I've seen them. It's smooth fingers.
And we've talked about the sinkhole, which we've told before on the podcast. But
Yeah.
how one leg went all the way down and didn't touch the bottom.
And one leg was out to the side.
It's a good thing that one of the legs was out, because if he had not scissored,
I'm pretty sure he'd have stopped at some point. I don't know.
yeah, but would we have ever found him? That's the question. That one leg was
And
keeping
talk
him
about
up.
missing
I
somebody.
keep going. Maybe I'll stop around the next bend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'd have to put a search party out. We talked about how awkward that marquee sign was and how heavy that plate glass was and the little bitty stick we used to prop it up with and the ant. We didn't talk about the ants.
Ant hills down there.
Oh,
just
we did
monster
forget
Horrible
those,
ant
yeah.
hills. You
And
just
the letters didn't fit right.
Oh, they.
That's what
didn't.
you're about to
Oh,
say,
it
right?
just, They were, and so the last letters we used were this. They were hard plastic, right? So I mean,
because the others would bow up.
they'd
the
bow up
heat.
and they'd turn yellow. It immediately, the heat would just cook them. And so we had these plastic ones that had these little nubs on the bottom of them, right where it would pop in. They just tear your hands all to pieces trying to get them in there. You'd end up breaking, those off, and the letter would sit sort of sideways, and it was
you
just
have to spell your words from the center
Right.
out to make
So,
it centered.
Anytime anybody ever talked about, getting rid of that sign, there was just glee in my eyes. It's like, please, let's get rid of that marquee. So, yeah.
So, because I wanted to bring you in on church signs,
Sure.
I've got another set of bad church signs. Now, like last time, I didn't read them ahead of time, so this
Well,
could,
Can I just
there
say,
was one-
last week, did you do CHCH, what's missing you are?
well, we talked about that
Because
but
that was on our sign out here one
That's
time.
famous, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but that is good compared to
Look,
No,
he had
you
one
didn't-
last week. I said we just need to keep going.
Yeah,
Let's not
we-
read that
you,
one
you
again.
didn't talk about the one on the back way to Trustful that time, right?
Oh no, I didn't. Go ahead.
I'm not sure I can say it. Probably shouldn't say
Probably
it, should I?
not.
If I
Okay.
just say the letter that it begins with, would I be okay?
I think so.
say it. We'll edit it.
Okay.
If
So this is what it said. It said, read the Bible, and that's a great message. We should all read the Bible. And so, I mean, this is on just a straight up like, missionary Baptist
Mhm.
church on the back way
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
from Moody to Trustful. And it said, read the Bible. It'll scare the H out of you.
yeah,
Except it didn't have H.
Yeah. And it
it had
It
AG
had,
double
it
hockey
had the
stick.
hockey
Yeah,
sticks.
yeah.
That's what it had.
and I think
I've seen signs like that before.
I don't think it ever worked really. But I know I took a couple of pictures of it as I drove by it. And
Well, I
probably
think,
can't
I think
argue.
we were all like, can you believe what's on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sign? All right, go ahead, Drew.
All right. Well, here's some, and we'll just see where this takes us. So here's one. He is divine. We are the branches.
Oh.
Boo. That's almost like that
A lot of these are
podcast
just
from
bad puns.
that's almost like the podcast from a few weeks ago when you were talking about the Eagles guy reading a book.
Yeah. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You won't go anywhere until you change it. Well, that's pretty typical.
Wah,
of
wah,
church.
wah, wah.
Have the donkey and elephant let you down? Turn to the lamb.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Jesus. Jesus who? Exactly. That's on a church sign. That's a lot to read when you're driving down the road.
Yeah, at 60 miles an hour.
Cash God inside. How about that? I don't understand.
Oh,
that.
that's a
How about that?
that's a meme or a
I don't know what that is.
reel or whatever. There's this girl who says, "Catch me outside." It's
Cash God inside. How about that?
yeah,
It's assuming everybody's heard of this woman with a speech impediment.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. The best vitamin for a Christian is B1. That's another pun. Oh, I've seen this one before. Sign broken, message inside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's been
Mm-hmm.
on. I've seen that one around here in town before.
When you remember
Maybe on our sign when we
I
used to
took
do
the
it.
sign over, we agreed that we wouldn't do
Cute, cheesy.
anything.
No, it was just sermon.
Right. It was right.
And-
Or
it was
scripture.
a sermon, or it was a scripture,
Yeah.
or it was an event.
Yeah.
Right. And we
I noticed you always went with the really short scriptures like pray continuously, Jesus wept,
Jesus wept.
yeah, rejoice always.
Why does it say Jesus wept up there? I mean, well, go read your Bible. That's what it was about.
My fingers were hurting, okay?
This is more along the line of the ones that we read last week. It's an unintentional bad sign.
Oh no.
It's the result of trying to put too much on the sign. You know, just flying too close to the sun. You want it too bad. You want too much out of the sign. Don't let worries kill you. Let the church help.
That is very much online.
It would have been better just don't let worries kill you. Period. Free coffee, everlasting life. Yes, membership has its privileges. So we're putting free coffee on the same level as everlasting life. Now, I like coffee, but
I mean, I got a cup of coffee at Starbucks the other day. It was about $4.50. So free coffee sounding pretty good.
There we go.
oh, this is
Drew,
terrible.
we have free coffee here, don't we, Drew?
Yeah, apparently. Apparently, my stash is really getting low. It's free to somebody.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I know where the old K-Cup pods are.
Hang out with Jesus. He hung out for you. That's
Ooh.
really in
That's
bad
a
taste.
little
That's bad.
sacrilegious,
That's
isn't
bad.
it?
I don't
That's
like
really that.
I don't like
That's
that
one of
one.
those where, as the preacher, I pull up one Sunday morning, all happy, and then I see
Somebody
the
go
sign.
out there and get the letters off that
And then
sign
you're out there
right
in your
now.
khakis changing the sign, mad.
Yes.
Now would be like, Jackson, I got something I need you to do.
You know, you couldn't,
Go prop that
That's
thing
right.
open, get the letters off that
guys,
thing right
you
now.
could not let any of our children put anything out there because they can't spell, they can't
Oh,
punctuate.
that's true.
It looked like a text message. KK. What does KK mean?
KK.
Just a few more here, because there's some good ones in here. Wrinkled with burdens, come to church for a faith lift.
Wow.
Wow, that is so terrible.
That's a lot.
That is bad.
I
That
can't
is
believe
really
somebody
bad.
did that.
Wrinkled with burdens. Don't burdens weigh you down? Do they wrinkle
get
you?
a faith lift, and those burdens will go away.
And some poor guy with a lisp is offended right now. It's like that patient of mine named Jathan. I was like, hey, Jathan, nice to meet you. And he's like, seriously?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
been waiting to use
I
that
have
one.
been.
Had that one stocked up.
Oh, I
And then
apologize.
here's one from a Church of Christ. And it's one of these, I hate these. The billboard signs used to do this, where you'd have a quote
Oh, no.
attributed to God.
Oh,
And it'd be
yeah.
It's
something that,
like dash God at the bottom
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So they tried this at this sister congregation. Ready or not, here I come, Jesus.
I don't think he ever. I'm pretty sure he never said that.
No.
We are not experts, but definitely master level class on quotes, and I am fairly certain that is not an actual quote.
I don't think it is.
Okay, maybe we should end on this one because I like the unintentional ones. Those are funnier than the ones that are trying to be cute. And here's one, the unintentional one. Do you know what hell is? Come hear our preacher.
35 minutes of pure torture. Burning inferno.
I think that's a good one to end on and also to set us up for a bad preacher segment.
Yes.
So we'll take a break.
I've got a couple of good options for us tonight.
Good. All right, it's time for a bad preacher segment.
Bad preachers.
Put your hand on that television set.
And you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
Isn't that something called a moshoko do mazata?
Could it be Satan?
All right, welcome to Bad Preacher tonight. We have a little bit of a message. You know, are you tired of what people are wearing out in public?
It gets to me sometimes.
Well, let me tell you, Gavin Flatt, and I don't know who he is, but he does not like some of the things being worn in public and in his congregation, and he is going to set his people right.
So we're going to have a sermon on modesty here.
We're going to have a sermon on something. Y'all buckle up.
All
This
right.
one, I warn our listeners, this guy's a bit of a screamer. It might get a little loud. Not that loud. Dad, it'll sound like a whisper to you. All right, here we go.
Well, if you don't want to see me like that, I don't want to see you like that. Hey, what's the standard on the preacher? Why is it different in the pew? I don't want my wife wearing tight breeches and for the world to see every crack and crevice on her body. Be able to tell which side of quarter is on heads or tails in the back pocket.
All right, let's do that right there. Stop there.
Okay.
You can tell if the quarter in her back pocket is heads or tails. Not only that there's a quarter in the back of her pocket,
But you can tell if it's on heads or tails.
tails.
Now, guys, I can.
Now, if we're not, hey, we're gonna use it next time we see a pair of tight pants. We're using that one.
Oh,
If
yeah.
she had a quarter in the back of them pants, we could tell if it was heads or tails.
That's so good. The guy's a poet.
He really is. And guys, he's standing right behind a cedar lectern. I mean, this guy is at the podium and he is letting him have it.
I love the way he just goes, hey. That's hilarious. This is maybe my favorite guy. I may look up all his sermons when I go home.
My pants are so
do a
tight
deep
you can
dive.
tell if a quarter is on heads or tails.
You accurately
This is Shakespeare of
said he
fundamentalism.
sounds a little bit like Car Wash Joe if you know
He
Rick
does.
and Bubba.
If he'll give us a little bit of a wheeze,
Go out there and run me a seat.
he definitely is. I picture him, and the camera's kind of off at a distance. This dude is doing some serious sweating too, because he's in shirt
I can
and
feel
tie.
that he's sweating.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. All right, I'll crank it. You're ready for me to
Bring
crank
it
it
on.
back up?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew. What were you going to say?
I wish there was a shot of his wife while he's talking
Oh,
about her
yeah.
body
As
in
she's-
such detail.
Every crack
I
and
suspect
crevice.
that she's wearing something quite blousy.
Yeah. I have a feeling. I think he gets into some pants talk here in just
All
a
right,
minute.
here we go.
I tell you, for this studio, we have got to get a monitor up so we can see these videos
Yeah.
and see them as we're sharing it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's an aside. Here we go.
While you're wearing it. Show me where you see the difference on a preacher's wife and a pew sitter's wife.
He's holding his Bible up.
You King James only? That's what we're gonna break open. You find it, show it to me. But the Bible says a man's not to wear that pertaineth to a female, and a female's not supposed to wear that pertaineth to a male. And it's still in there. And when your granddaughter lies in her sword tight breeches, hey man, it'll still be in there. And throughout all of eternity, it'll still be there.
Uh-oh, we done got personal, I think, right?
Yeah. He
I
talking.
ain't stepping down from that.
He just wiped his sweat.
I ain't backing up on that. I'm not getting the popular vote on that. Hey, man. Hey, listen, I'd rather go somewhere where there's 3 people and that said we're going to be holy people. There's going to be something different about us. And there ought to be something different about you if you got saved.
All right, pause it. And we've been doing this long enough now to start detecting patterns. And that whole there were several of them right in there. Not
that we've seen
I'm
a
very
couple
disappointed in this guy because he went from being very original with the description of the quarter in the back pocket, heads or tails. I mean, just some wonderful stuff. Into the tired old cliches of
I'd be in a place with 3 people than out here in the world.
There ought to be a difference.
My wife and my dog. That's it.
And we've heard that over and over again.
I'll step down. I don't have to be here. I don't need a popular vote. We've heard that speech before.
And I guarantee you he does that every Sunday.
When he gets fired up like this, he took his glasses off for a second and wiped his sweat.
I think it'd be interesting for you to refer to the rest of the congregation as pew sitters. I think that that's an interesting designation there. Why is it different between me and all you pew sitters?
Just to make sure you enunciate
I think people
that
like
really
to be
well.
referred to that way.
I'm sure that that's a.
Is there more?
He meant it in a good way.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty more.
All
All I ask is if you're going to say pew sitters, enunciate very well. That's all I ask. Please make sure you say that clearly.
How's people going to know you're saved? Well, okay, let's back up. Those of you that ain't passed out a track all week. Shh. How are they going to tell you're saved? How are they going to tell anything's different about you?
Long pause.
You ain't passed out a track all week.
You said that.
Because passing out a track proves you're saved.
Something's different. I wonder why they always have that on. If you ain't ever been called a little Amish girl, you ain't dressing too godly.
What?
If you ain't ever been called
okay,
a
now we're
Amish
getting
girl.
back
If you
to
ain't
good
ever
stuff.
been called an Amish girl, you're not dressing too godly.
Well, then I'm not dressing godly. Nobody's ever called me a little Amish girl.
Me either. I do kind of have the Amish vibe going with the beard, but I don't have the right hat for it or the right name. Let's just keep going. I could wear overalls, though.
Or the right vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not in a buggy. And you know what buggies don't have? Air conditioning.
Preach.
I'm not coming down. I'm not coming down to you.
Is that Joe
I'm
Biden?
not coming down there. You can scream and holler all you want to up here, but I'm not coming down. I'm not coming down.
What's he
God help
talking
me to never come down, never back up, never go another direction. But I hope God gives me boldness. I hope God gives me insight. I hope God gives me the touch to keep preaching, and that women ought to cover themselves and men ought to too.
All right, we get it.
Yeah,
He's the best person who has ever lived.
Now,
These guys,
now what
it's
is-
always
Was
about
he talking
them.
about like coming down out of the pulpit?
I
or
think coming down
was
to the world's
To their
expectations.
level.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so it
that's
was- it
another
was
He's
more-
trope.
not
it
coming
was
down.
figurative.
He's not coming down to the pew sitters.
And it may be
Yeah.
a little tinge of Nehemiah in that.
Now, I did
You know,
skip the
Can't-
first.
I'm doing a good work. I can't come down.
I did cut out the first part because he got into some stuff that I would just feel a little uncomfortable
His
throwing out
language
over the air.
is not for this podcast.
We showed the
Okay.
tone down part, but that reference to tight pants and being able to see if the quarters on heads or tails.
That's good.
And,
That's pretty good.
That's
if
changed
you've
my
never-
life.
And if you've never been called a little Amish girl, then you're not dressing godly.
He had some good lines, but he ruined it with cliche.
He got back into just that pattern of yelling and screaming and pausing and screaming and pausing. If he'd have stuck to the funny stuff, we'd have been good.
If you don't think I'm going to adopt the heads or tails on the quarter,
Oh, I guarantee you.
Oh,
I'll
man,
use
yeah.
that before the week's over.
It's Monday, February the 5th at 9:44.
No,
A watershed
Drew,
moment.
It's Wednesday. The clock's
the
wrong.
clock says Monday.
Boy, that probe is causing some issues.
Uh-oh.
We got interference.
Well,
Now, that
it's
does
whatever
say-
day it is, it's a watershed moment for us because from henceforth, we shall remember the description of the quarter in the tight pants.
If we ever get our logo reprinted, can we get Tim out of the shorts with the tassels and get him into some tight pants on that
sure.
thing
With a quarter
with a quarter in the
turned
back?
heads. Old George Washington's a noggin there for you. Was he on a quarter?
I don't know, you really
George
put
Washington
your
was on the
neck out
quarter?
there.
Yeah, I think he
Don't ask
is.
me.
I don't.
I don't
Man,
make
I
statements
hope
like
I'm
that.
right.
Who carries change?
Yeah, what's a quarter?
Yeah, quarter of what?
I'll tell you about a quarter pounder.
Right.
I know
It's a
a
quarter.
lot about them quarter pounders.
That's the quarters we talk about on this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Our passage this week comes from Patrick, who's out of town today.
We're missing Patrick tonight.
In fact, he found this passage on a picture
In his hotel room.
in his hotel room.
Yeah, so we were texting today about what our quote would be, and he sent us a screenshot of his hotel room. The picture he's looking at, it's a quote by Tennessee Williams, and we liked it, and we thought, well, even though Patrick's not here, we'll do his quote.
Yeah.
So here it goes. In memory, everything seems to happen to music. In memory, everything seems to happen to music. Tennessee Williams. I didn't do any research on that, whether that might have come from one of his plays or...
I don't know, but I did
Something.
come up with a question as soon as I heard this. All right, so what's the soundtrack to your memories? If your memories happen with music,
Like childhood memories?
yeah, what soundtrack is playing? I mean, what song do you hear when you think of your stuff?
It's a Beatles song
really
because we grew up, my dad, my brothers, my mom, we listened to the Beatles constantly.
yeah.
Constantly. We had this book, they called them, y'all both have done music. Do you remember the books that you could buy and they call them a fake book? I don't know why. And again, we need Patrick for fact check. I may have this wrong. We're talking about memory and my memory may be off, but I think they call them fake book. And it would all be songs set to music and you could play them on the guitar or piano, whatever. And we had a Beatles music book and we played out of that all the time. So we played the songs and listened to them all the time. And our classic rock station every once in a while would do Beatles A to Z. And they play every Beatles song in alphabetical order. And this is
And 4 days
will not
later,
impress our young listeners
No.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I got the entire Beatles catalog on cassette tape. I sat by the radio that whole day.
and hit that play
Started with
record
A.
at the same time.
I had a stack of tapes and got every song down in alphabetical order. So when I started buying the albums, it throw you off. You know, when you get used to an album, you anticipate the next song. Well, I was anticipating it in alphabetical order. I'd hear a song and I'd kind of feel like this next song that starts with a D is coming up.
Yeah.
And then the album arrangement was different. But that'd be the soundtrack of my childhood.
Mine, Tim, go ahead, actually.
Not very surprising. It would be some Elton John music. My cousin Doug put me on to Elton John when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. And I listened an awful lot to an album called Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player.
Yeah.
And then his greatest hits. And, you know, we didn't have tons of albums, right? It was a big deal to get a new album. And so those two, an awful lot. I remember playing them over and over.
Mine's pretty heavy in the Marty Robbins category.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to play Marty Robbins vinyls all the time. The big iron on his hip. What was some of the other ones? There was Rose's Cantina or something like that. But that was, I mean, I can remember being at his house, and he would always have those old records playing, and some of my favorite childhood memories were in that house. So anytime I think of that, I go back to records that he was playing. That and Rolf Harris. If you've never heard of Rolf Harris, the Australian folk singer, he's worth a listen. His greatest hit, "Tie Me Kangaroo Down," went to number one on the charts in Australia. But
I have to check that out.
Those two artists were probably the soundtrack that plays to my childhood.
I might get a
memories.
sound clip of that for us to enjoy.
You should.
That'd be good.
I could sing it for you, and then it's royalty free, I believe. So it'd be ugly. I don't have a good Australian accent.
We don't want to be listener free though. So.
That is true. Yeah.
I love the memory of recording off the radio.
Oh man, yeah.
Because that's a big childhood memory.
Yeah.
I will tell you a really weird version of that I had a cassette tape for, and maybe if I went up into my attic, I'd have a melted version of that cassette tape still. But I remember sitting next to the TV with my tape recorder the night that Richard Nixon resigned as president.
Yeah.
And hitting them both, right? Because
you had to push both buttons down at the same time.
Yeah.
Play
and
record.
Right.
Yeah.
And but certainly, like on Sunday afternoons, American Top 40 would come on, Casey Kasem, right?
Yeah.
And so, you get the best songs in the country that week, so you might record the top 10, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Once it got past all the trash and got down to really what was hot right then. And but yeah, I mean how much play did we get out of 6 blank cassette tapes that we bought at the record store or something?
Right.
You know?
Speaking of Casey Kasem, I was over at our friend Richard Box's house the other day, and he had his radio playing. He was playing a small Pell City radio station. And I heard, "And now, number 5. And I was like, "Richard, did I just hear Casey Kasem?" He said, "Yeah, they play old Casey Kasem episodes." It was like 1985. And
just a random week.
It was it was the show from beginning to end.
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
It's time for a long distance dedication.
Yeah.
You would always do those.
Did you guys ever call in and request a song at a radio station?
I have
know that I ever did.
never done that.
So
I've always been
I
too
missed-
afraid that they put me on air,
Somehow
which is stupid because now I'm doing a podcast.
Somehow I missed, and this is weird that I remember all the details of this, but I missed the Beatles song "Fool on the Hill." I don't know if I had to go to the bathroom when they were in the Fs, but I wanted to complete my
the
set.
collection. Yes.
So I just called the classic radio station just out of the blue. I looked it up in the phone book, called them and said, "Can you play Fool on the Hill?" And they're like, "That's a weird one." And they said, "Okay, we'll try to work it in." And I sat there for an hour waiting on them to play it. And they said, "Special request, Fool on the Hill." And they played it. And I was there with
And
my
you're
tape
like,
recorder and I recorded it. I got the whole thing.
What's bad is you tied yourself up until they played it because you couldn't leave because it's not like you could go back and find it. I
was like 9. I didn't have a lot to do.
Now there was technologically, there was a big deal upgrade for me when I got the stereo that had the radio, the record player, and the built-in tape deck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's set up on top, but and so you could record off the radio internally, and so all your problems of external noise. Somebody, shh, I'm recording. Don't say
You could
anything
just
or whatever.
record it. And that's what I was using when I'm talking.
Hey,
about.
what you doing in here?
And you could record your records and listen to them in the car on the tape.
Right. And, but most of the time, I had one of these, curved Panasonic, cassette players. And, that one had this little pop-up handle. And so along with it was the Panasonic 8-track tape player that had the track changer on top. You'd hit the handle on the top.
Yeah.
And so those were sort of a pair. But the, cassette player, you would sit up next to the radio, right? And so, it'd be filled with
you get a lot of noise,
all your external noise,
And that became a part of the song because you listen to it over and over again, and the bird chirping or whatever you have in
It's
the background.
funny that you say that because I clearly remember. So I mentioned my cousin Doug. Hey, Doug, he's a passenger. So Doug would create these 8-track tapes for me because Doug, I think I've told on an earlier podcast, Doug had this amazing record collection that I'd love to go into Clearwater because that's what he spent a lot of money on that. And a few years ago, he sold most, if not all, the collection to a record store. And it was a lot. It was amazing. He had collected it over years and years and years.
Wow.
And so he would send me an 8-track. So he could record 8-track tapes on his stereo. And so it was an 8-track tape of just as many songs by as many artists as he could stack onto this 8-track, right? So, it'd be 40 or 50 songs on this 8-track tape. And so, burnt in my mind would be where that song would end and, it would go on to the next track, but it'd be like, those cutoff points and stuff, and those things would just be buried in your mind. You'd hear the whole song for real, and it's like,
wait a second, that's not the right way.
That's not my version of the song, right? Normally
and kids today just have no idea what a gift of a mixtape is.
Oh, man.
They talk about mixtapes. They don't know what a joy.
Right. I mean, it was the first playlist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you assembled just the great stuff.
The stuff and the
right?
hours
Somebody
you would
had
spend listening to the radio trying to get your mixtape
time or money.
Yeah.
Had to be invested in this. And there was an advantage to just having the few tapes or records because you would get to know them really intimately. And I'm not even sure if this is what the quote's about. I've got some other directions you can take it in.
You listen to album cuts of things and things that you'd never hear if you just listen to the radio, right?
Right, yeah.
So you'd learn more about the artist and what they were all about.
How tragic it was when that tape player would eat your tape too. Oh, talk about gut-wrenching.
And you try to pull it out real carefully and get a ballpoint pen, put it in the spool and wind it up.
And it never
and then you play it
the
back
same.
and it's
just
got
awful.
that awful sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that happen a few times. I love the streaming music. I love that I can play any song. I get a impulse to hear something out of the blue and I can play it.
It is so good. Yeah.
But we'd be lying if we said we didn't lose a little bit in
just the nostalgia in this
getting away from the
conversation
physical
is
media.
really pretty cool.
So the part of the angle on the quote that we've taken here is that our memories are tied to music. They're fused together with songs. You hear a song and it reminds you of something.
Of where you
They're
were
just
when you heard it.
connected. But I also think about how, another direction I want to take this in is that our memory, and I'm not sure this is what he meant, but this was strangely my first thought. My first impression of this quote is that our memories are colored in different ways. And the music is, the emotions packed into it or the perspective of it. In memory, everything seems to happen to music, but maybe it really didn't. And so for me, there's also this idea of the imperfection of our memory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that our memories are imperfect. I don't care how accurate you think it is.
You do not remember it as it was.
You don't. Psychologists have proven this.
Yep.
If you got in a time machine and went back, you might be surprised at what it really was like, especially the stuff that happened when you were a kid.
Yep.
And for me, there's a comfort in that a little bit because, some bad memories, you can think back and say, well, maybe it wasn't really as bad as I'm remembering it.
Yep.
And maybe I need to remember it differently.
Yeah. Well, and that's why there's such importance when they're in a trial or something, that they need 2 or 3 witnesses to even corroborate something. And 3 people that see the exact same thing are going to remember it totally different because of the perspective you have. But then you separate that memory with time from where you are now to when the actual event happened. And I don't know, my mind builds stories around things. There's things that I can tell and I remember about my childhood, and I don't know if they're real or not. Because I'm sure I have exaggerated some things in there. I'm sure I have tried to make it funnier than it really was, or in some cases made it worse. I have memories that to me it's the Imperial March song from Star Wars is playing in those memories because they were just horrible. But at the same time, it's like, were they really that bad? Or was that the perspective of a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid that just got his feelings hurt or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I mean, I think the 3 of us are very musically inclined. I always have music playing. In fact, Cassie told me last night that I fell asleep. She was working on stuff, and I was like, I'm going to go sit in bed and read. And I had music blaring. Nice classical, peaceful piano music, but it was blaring. And she said she had to come in and turn it off and that I was just knocked out of sleep. I mean, I think music plays an important part, and I like this quote because of that. But seems to happen to music. I think that idea of seems is that perspective. We remember things sometimes incorrectly.
Yeah. And if you're haunted by memory, give it a different soundtrack.
Yeah. And try to think, give yourself, the other thing with memories is give yourself, so when you're 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, I mean, I could have had a zit on my forehead at 15, and I would have thought it was the most tragic thing to ever happen in your life. Sometimes the perspective of where we are at that age, at that time, things were a lot bigger deal than they are today.
Yeah. I didn't want to be seen wearing my glasses. I had contacts.
Yeah.
And it was the end of the world if someone outside my family saw me wearing my Coke bottle glasses.
Yep. And
now I wouldn't care at all.
No. But it's one of those things that I think sometimes our memories, we get locked in on something bad or something really, really good. And in reality, we're wrong. We don't remember what really happened.
Yeah.
This is, I think you said, maybe this is what it means. Maybe it's not. This is probably definitely not what it means. But
well, that's what we specialize in.
If you're wrong, right? I'm still going to have more M&Ms.
Why not? So let's talk for a minute about what memory and music have in common, right? Just the music, it sticks in our memory more than almost anything, right? And so, we were just talking about how sometimes our memories fade, but the things in our mind that are set to music, I mean, how many times do you hear a song and it's like, heard that song in 40 years, and then you start singing the lyrics to it.
Well,
yeah.
And
how did I learn the books of the Bible? We needed you last week with the days of creation. We were struggling. We were like, if Tim was here, he'd sing it and we'd have this.
I was thinking, earlier today, I was thinking about, there's this song that we sang in Vacation Bible School, and I'll do it to make the point, right? But we'd sing, this was the song. Othniel, Ehud, Shamgar, Deborah, Gideon, Abimelech, Tola, Jair, Jephthah, Ibzan, Elon, Abdon, Samson, Eli, Samuel. And then we'd sing it again. And by the end of the week, all the kids would know the judges, right?
Yeah.
True, except for the one that's not really a judge.
Well,
right?
I was debating whether or not to talk about Abimelech, but let's stay on.
Yeah,
let's stay on track.
We'll stick on the point of the song, right?
Asheville Road kids, though, can tell you the judges. Now, how many seasoned saints can list off the judges? But
or
it's
the
that little tune.
or the 10 plagues,
right?
Or the fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah,
and so I can tell you what happened on the 6 days of creation, but I have to be careful not to sing it. What happened on the 5th day of creation? God made birds and fish alive. I mean that. Yeah. But why? Right? We've sung a song.
Yeah.
It's just.
I still sing the alphabet if I'm trying to remember out where a letter goes in alphabetical order. And I don't sing it out loud, but it's in my head.
Right. That's how we all learned our
Yeah,
ABCs.
it's just, it's just
That's
amazing.
how we learned the books of the Bible.
Right.
I was trying to think. My kids learned the periodic table. They found a song on YouTube.
Well, that's why Schoolhouse
the
Rock
periodic
was so
table.
popular.
Right.
Still
Yep.
don't know the preamble to the Constitution, but I'm sure you can sing it.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union.
I never learned that one.
Justice, ensure domestic tranquility.
Either. I think that's why I got to
Yep.
see that year in
Anyhow,
history.
yep, I can do it, and I can do it because of
that
Schoolhouse
song.
Rock.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that I learned in the 70s sometime. So I mean, it is just amazing the power of music.
Yeah.
Drew, I think we talked about not all that long ago about your mom, right?
Mhm.
And deep in the period of dementia, Alzheimer's that she was dealing with, what you went
She
to
was
church,
still
she'd go to
singing.
church and she was still singing
Yeah.
hymns. It was like it was the last memory.
She couldn't see or read, but she was singing all those songs by heart.
Phenomenal.
And when my dad would play his guitar and sing secular songs, she'd sing along with that.
Yeah.
That was her last conscious act, really, was singing. The last coherent thing that she could do
Mm-hmm.
was to enjoy music. And imagine a world without music. And music is, I think, one of these beautiful things that tells you there has to be a God. Because what is it? It's a change in frequencies. I mean, why is that so appealing to everyone?
Right. Can move us to tears.
Why?
Right. And all it is just that adjustment, right?
How can a materialistic philosophy explain that?
Well, it's the
You
beauty.
can't
It's
explain
the
it.
beauty of design and a designer, because that doesn't
Yeah.
happen by random accident.
No, that was put in us. That comes from our spirit.
Well, and I think there's
It's
a
not
reason
brain
that when
matter.
you see angels portrayed in the Bible so many times, they're singing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when
Or
they're
they're
announcing
carrying a harp
yeah. I mean, I think there's part of that is.
or trumpet.
I mean, I don't know. There's just a big part of music that's
Isn't
important
it
in our life.
Isn't it the picture of heaven of us singing praises to God? Right. I mean, it's going to be there. Right.
And they're real trumpets, not the ones with the speaker and the bell.
That's right. Refer to an earlier episode on
Right.
Speaker and the Bell.
This podcast builds on itself. Well, thank you, Patrick, for a great quote.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love talking about music. I think we're supposed to talk about memory, but we spent most time on music. But
Well,
music is memory. I mean,
And in our defense, we're post 10 o'clock now, and the sleepiness is already, I've seen it on all of us. I finished my second Diet Dr. Pepper. It's time to start reining this thing in.
I'm starting to get nervous here on how to close this thing out. How long have we been doing this? 1.5 years, and I still don't know how to close an episode. So I'm just going to bring attention to it and talk about how I don't know how to close this episode.
Follow us on Instagram at passages_podcast. And join us next time on Passages.